Check it. Alright guys, what is up? You are back for another video with DataZero. This video is going to be a little bit different than your normal updates. We're going to be looking at 3 possible price targets for AMC. These are bearish price targets looking for a possible bottom for AMC based off the technical data that we have now in front of us. We're also going to be talking about the news with the Bitcoin ETF. There was a development with the Bitcoin ETF. We're going to be talking about all the noise and confusion and clearing all of that up and giving you guys the information that you need to know. This is a special update, so go ahead and watch to the end, and we do cover the technicals as well. Let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the facts, the data, and see what we have going on.
All right, guys, what is up? You are back for another video with DataZero. In this video, we're going to be looking at AMC, GME, and SPY. We're going to be also looking at Bitcoin as well because we have news about the Bitcoin ETF. The SEC's Twitter account, okay? The SEC's at sec.gov Twitter X has been compromised, guys. So apparently there is a leak out there that says several sources are saying that it is approved. Several sources are saying it's not approved. Basically, the bulk of it is that it is not approved is what the SEC is saying, but the account was compromised. The account came out and someone said it was approved. We've seen this massive spike in price action, so we can see what happens if it is going to get approved. You will see a massive spike, but then it came back down after news that it was not actually real. But price started to absolutely take off as soon as somebody said this thing was approved. So if we do see Bitcoin ETF approved, you will see the price go up. Now, if we do not see it, I expect the price to pull back somewhat, okay? Not dramatically. I do not expect a major crash. Bitcoin can hold up without the ETF. It will be fine, but you will see pull back because some people are trying to front run this decision. So some people are in this for a speculative trade only. Basically, they're in this for a trade and they will get out as soon as the reason for the trade is not there. They're in this simply because they think it's going to get approved, so they're going to ride it up and take some profits on the way out. So there's some speculation involved, and that's what's causing these rapid moves in BTC. So this is very, very exciting. We could see a pop at any time on BTC. As far as the technicals are concerned, it is starting to form what looks to be an expanding megaphone at this point in time. Still holding points. Had this false breakout, had this false breakdown after we got the news. Obviously, this was a news-driven event, but as you guys can see, we're still inside this expanding megaphone, heading back down towards that 44.4K level. If we hold that level of support, you're going to see another move back towards 47K. If we hear about the ETF, then you will see news. Now, somebody said that it was supposed to come out on the 10th. There is a ton of speculation and rumor about this stuff. Someone said it was supposed to come out on the 10th, but as of right now, we have nothing out, okay? So the Securities Exchange Commission said Tuesday afternoon that announced about the Bitcoin ETF. The announcement about the Bitcoin ETF on social media was incorrect. The SEC's.gov has been compromised. The unauthorized tweet regarding the Bitcoin ETF was not made by an SEC or the staff. So the tweet went out, and then we seen Bitcoin start to spike up, and that was all caused by a quote-unquote compromised, quote-unquote hacker compromised the actual government's SEC's government account. So that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin and the overall news on that. Now, let's go ahead and look at SPY, what's going on for SPY, and then look at the meme stocks. I'm going to give you guys 3 price targets for AMC. This video is going to be also a little bit different than your normal technical update because I'm giving you guys 3 price targets for AMC for the possible bottom based off the technicals that we have now. Again, if dilution comes out or we see some further price action down the road, after we break out of this wedge that I'm tracking that I'll show you here in a minute, we could see other price targets. But as of right now, I have 3 price targets for you, high, low, and medium, and we're going to go over those as well. So here on SPY, we are starting to form a bullish pennant. And after breaking out of this expanding megaphone, obviously, I think we're going to make a move to the upside, okay? I think we're going to be making a move to the upside here on SPY. This will probably take place over the after hours or pre-market hours. You'll probably see a little bit of a retest, maybe even back down to this lower level. But I believe SPY is actually about to make a move to the upside after it breaks out of this pennant. This pennant is kind of forming over after hours, so it could extend a little bit out and then break out. But I do believe we're going to see a movement to the upside based off of what I'm seeing here. And there's also a gap to the upside. And I believe we're going to continue to upside. The official play in the Discord is calls, so we are bullish for this week. And I did predict a bullish week last week in the weekly, or bullish week for this week in the weekly update and prediction over this last weekend. So we are right on track with my predictions as far as what I expected for this week. I expect to be moving to the upside. Again, when we zoom out, you guys can see I have this overall head and shoulders pattern that I think we're forming. I expect this to come up to about that 475.90, fill that liquidity gap, and then start moving to the downside after that based off of the technicals that I have here now. So that's what I'm looking at for SPY. Key levels of support that you want to see held are that 473.50 level. But again, I do think we're going to be seeing that move to the upside and continuing up towards that 475, 476 region. So that's what I'm looking at for SPY. Let's go ahead and hop into GameStop and then go over AMC. So GameStop's in a falling wedge. I believe GameStop's going to actually trend down towards $15 and bounce off of there. I do believe GameStop has bottomed at $11.83. I do not think it's going to go any lower than that in my personal opinion. It is breaking out of a massive falling wedge. Also, if you look at GameStop's liquidity, it is getting low. Again, meme stocks are based off of liquidity. If we go ahead and look at Stonko Tractor, we can see that the shares for GameStop is getting wearing down. They are having troubles getting over 100,000 shares. Now, again, this could change here in the morning, but as of right now, they have 75,000 shares. Again, we'll be checking during the live stream tomorrow what the shares are at and doing updates, but I do believe we are going to trend down towards $15 and then get a bounce to the upside after bouncing out of this wedge that we are making here on GME, which is a overall bullish form after we move towards the downside. Again, 1480, $15 price target here on that wedge. Now, let's go ahead and focus on AMC stock and show you guys what's going on for AMC. So the first thing I want to point out here are the sell walls. We have sell walls here at 508 all the way up to about 512. That's on the 1 minute time frame, okay? So these are going to be the places that we're going to be having a lot of resistance. So we could see it pop up to that level, but it's going to be a lot of resistance. So you can see at the 508 to like 512 level, they have us sell walled up. Okay, so that means that anytime we get up here, we're going to experience selling pressure because there's a lot of sell orders waiting up there, waiting to get out. Now, obviously, people are not happy with their investment right now. And at this point in time, it, for me personally, would make no sense to sell the shares at this value level, especially after you lose 90-80% of your value. It makes literally no sense to get rid of it, especially once you understand how trash the dollar is. Again, cash is not king. You want to accumulate assets. So what assets do you accumulate? Well, if you have some AMC, why would you let it go? That is an asset. At least hold on to it till it increases in value, and it will still be better than holding on to the dollar. But me personally, I like to invest in things like Bitcoins and passive income strategies, but that is neither here nor there. But guys, we are in a massive falling wedge. Okay, so we have a pretty big falling wedge, and we're starting to get a little bit of bullish divergence. You guys can see that the RSI is making lower highs or higher lows, so you can see that it's making higher lows. If we can make higher highs, we can see a overall uptrend. When you zoom in though, you can see that we are starting to form an overall uptrend on the RSI with these higher lows. So that could be the beginning of some bullish divergence forming. And we are in a possible, we're not a possible falling wedge. We are in a falling wedge. I'm going to go ahead and reset the chart here. As you guys can see, now this wedge has a few price targets, okay? And these are historical price targets even before AMC was split. These are price targets that AMC has often bounced off before, but I have the high, low, and medium range for where I think we could find a bottom for AMC. Current AMC bottom, where we're at right now, currently, what we have right now is 501. Okay, so that was my original price target when we did the live stream. I said we could see a bottom off of $5 even. Since we already hit $5, I will not use that price target. I will give you guys 3 other price targets since we have already talked about that during the live stream. So here are your price targets for AMC. I have them over here on the side of the screen, and these are based off the technicals of this falling wedge. So we have these price points of the wedge as it starts to work its way down. I do expect AMC to continue down, okay? We need to break out of this wedge and see it, hold it as support to see it move up, and then we have multiple sell walls above us. This is why I believe they're going to try to work AMC down to these levels very, very aggressively over the next couple of days. So you guys can see that there is a price target at $4.90, $4.80, and $4.60. This is the absolute bottom of the wedge. This is where I think we could see AMC in the next couple of days here in the very, very near future, possibly even tomorrow. Again, I do not want to put people in a bad state of mind or anything like that, but this is simply based off the charts, the technicals, and the data, what we could see, especially the fact that they do have about 2 million short shares for AMC at this point in time. I do believe they are going to be trying to use these shares to work it down, and combination with sell walls and other manipulation tactics to try to see a lower price target. So I think we will be hitting at least $4.90 in my personal opinion. But if we do break below that, the next range would be $4.80. And of course, if we broke below that, then the next range is $4.60. This is based off of support and resistance of historical context and this falling wedge that we have here. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC with the 3 different price targets that we could potentially see. And I do expect these price targets to actually be hit because they are very aggressively trying to work us down. Now, people often ask me, when do I think this thing could possibly end? We really need to see these shares start to dissipate. Okay, we need to see not 2 million, 1 million shares every single day. And the reason why they have so many shares is because the liquidity is up after the reverse split and the dilution. There was a ton of new liquidity added to AMC, and that's why cost to borrow has went down. That's why short interest has went down. That's why the FTDs have went down. And we need to see those things start to pick back up for the pressure to really be on the shorts. But there is a potentiality that AMC would cover if we do see AMC or AMC shorts would cover if, and this is a potentiality, if we see price drop down to a reasonable level where they would afford a bunch of shares. I could see a situation where they would cover the rest of the short interest, because why continue to pay when you could simply cover the rest of the short interest at a very cheap price where you would see a sudden pop up? Or if the market began to crash and we've seen a major crash, like an actual crash where the market actually started coming back down to like 400, 350 in those ranges, like a real crash, Apple's tanking, Nvidia's tanking, multiple stocks tanking, I think AMC could squeeze in a situation like that, as GameStop as well. I also think AMC could squeeze if GameStop breaks the dam, because I do believe GameStop is actually setting up for a position to make a move, believe it or not, based off of the macro falling wedge and based off of the differences in its liquidity. Basically, it's a lot harder for them to get shares for GameStop. GameStop's price is rising. This could cause a short squeeze, especially if you see GameStop short interest. It's at about 23%, and the cost to borrow is rising. So you can see that GME is a decent candidate for a short squeeze. These are the Ortex short squeeze scores for GameStop and AMC. AMC has 57 and GameStop has 86, and these are based off of numbers like utilization, short interest, and so on and so forth. So I think that a rise in price for GameStop could cause a potential short squeeze. And then if that breaks the dam, that would cause AMC to squeeze as well, in my personal opinion. Those are a few ways that you could see AMC squeeze if and when those things do happen. But me personally, I'm going to be holding this thing to 0 or MOAS. Now, people often ask me, do you think this thing could really go to 0? No, I do not. The only way it would go to 0 is if it got delisted, and they would have to hold the price underneath $1 for longer than 52 weeks. That would be extremely hard. You can see how AMC's price randomly bounces back, and when it does, it bounces back aggressively. So I do believe we would be able to withstand against that. In my personal opinion, but you never want to say never in any type of situation when it comes to the market. But literally, guys, have this in your mind when you're investing: 0 or MOAS. This is not a game. This is serious. There is risk involved. And if you're going to be a baby, if you lose money, do not put money in this thing. You have to be able to diamond hand this thing, or you are going to get demolished. AMC is a different type of play, and if you cannot stand the heat, then you have to get out of this kitchen. But guys, this is pretty much everything I have for you. If you found the video informative, go ahead and drop a like, press subscribe for more content like this, and remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more DataZero updates. And as always, y'all, have fun, Stay safe. Make money. Peace out.
All right, y'all, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe for more content like this. And remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more DataZero updates. My Discord is where I post all of my trades. This is a market support group, so if you want to get into it, all you have to do is hit me up on my email, DataZeroOfficial5, Twitter or Instagram. All of this is linked down below. Unfortunately, the payment is $50 for a lifetime invite. This is a one-time payment. It is made via PayPal or Cash App. If you want to get in, hit me up on my email and just ask about the Discord, and I will give you the payment information. You can send payment. I'll send you the link. It's as easy as that. As always, y'all, I appreciate you if you watch to the end. Hopefully you're having a great night, evening, day, whenever you're watching this, and stay safe. Peace out.